Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, could please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course, I always do greatly appreciate it. But with that being said, let's just dive in and let's talk about a ton of stuff. So I really do have a lot of things to address in regards to, of course, alt season and of course, just crypto in general. I know everyone has been kind of focusing on Bitcoin. I do love the idea on Bitcoin breaking out. Now, of course, I told you guys exactly what to watch for going forward. If you guys do want to watch that video, you guys can go check out my video from earlier today where I was talking about a major crashing point that is going to lead for a surge within stocks and crypto. And that crashing point is really kind of centered around the US dollar's value. Now, I did see a few people saying, is the US dollar value crashing a bad thing? Is it going to be, making my crypto worth less? No. In the sense on things like that, it's going to be a little bit of a turmoil in the short term of things. When we talk about, Bitcoin and crypto in general, a lot of this market is kind of waging on the idea on, hey, are we going to see interest being pushed from the US dollar into risk on assets? And I actually tweeted this out earlier today saying, it's not that hard to tell that the dollar is around its local top, which will most likely lead to that nice impulsive move that will lead to, of course, alt season yet again. I do believe that we are in a very similar structure to 2017 and 2018. I would say that right now, currently, we are basically in that summertime of 2017 sort of structure. So, things are looking pretty good. Now, let's talk about the dollar. So here we have, there it is, China's top offshore oil and gas producer, CNOOC Ltd, is preparing to exit its operations in Britain, Canada, and the United States because of concerns in Beijing. The assets could become subject to Western sanctions. Now, I'm just saying, with everything that has happened within the Russia and Ukraine conflicts, they have opened a massive can of worms in terms of sanctions, and it really put a spotlight on, of course, the US dollar dominancy. And this is where I tell you guys to start paying attention. A lot of individuals are continuing to kind of overlook these things. These sort of, I would say, moments in time are things that will be the pinnacle on what is about to happen within finance. When we talk about the US dollar, when we talk about things happening right now, I would say a lot of these major areas around the world are trying to get away from, of course, the legacy system. They want to, adopt into a newer system, aka CBDCs. They want to get out of a US dollar dominated payment infrastructures. This is where we will see the downfall of SWIFT. It has started. We've been seeing banks pulling out of SWIFT. We've been seeing SWIFT basically be the main target point for a lot of these other nations, and really kind of, moving away from that, traditional payment system to newer, much more modern payment systems, aka the digital yuan, and we do see even more CBDCs launching. Now, this, in my opinion, is going to lead to the dollar collapsing. I've been addressing this, and more so, I have my targets set on those 2017, 2018 lows, going back as far as January and February of 2018. That is around that 88 and almost a half point. Now, when we talk about this level, we address the current structure of the dollar. It looks like it is at its local topping point, hitting some resistance at the 786. I'm hoping for a similar repeat to what we've seen back in 2020 to around 2021. If we do see that, I can kind of show you guys that with the bars graph, possibly somewhere within this range that we are at now. Very kind of, I would say, similar structure to what we are seeing currently within this market. Obviously, could we go up a little bit higher here? Yeah, it's 100%, it's not a 100% guarantee that we are at the topping point just yet. But I do believe that this is a very similar structure that we are in currently, and it will lead us to these nice little bottoms. Now, I do have a little bit of a charted, pattern that I do see foreseeing happening on the dollar, which is that drop down to this demand zone, going back as far as January, to have that nice impulse up to the 702 with that nice rejection back down to these levels. This is going to be a little bit of a slower process, but this is going to lead to a massive alt season. And I'm going to get into alt season here in a little bit, but first I do want to talk to you guys about CBDCs. So we do see here a scoop. The private sector is embarking on a project to test the ability of U.S. market infrastructure to support a Fed-issued central bank digital currency. The Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, DTCC, in participation with the Digital Dollar Project, will work to measure the benefits of a CBDC across U.S. market infrastructure and American society. Now, a few people were talking about this and, kind of connecting it to RippleNet. Like we do see here, how positive are we that they have been testing the RippleNet? I'm 80%. And there's actually a really good video. I'm going to leave it down in the comments or in the description below. It's actually from Fame21 More. If you guys don't know who he is, go check out XRP Darren on Twitter. Incredible individual, but overall, he does do a ton of breakdowns on, RippleNet and the connections between Ripple and these massive, corporations. So definitely go check that out if you guys do want to learn more about the connections with the DTCC. But we are seeing a major move into, again, a modern aged payment infrastructure, which is something that is significant, and everything has streamlined it up to this point. So I am watching things very closely as we do see more and more things unfolding, overseas. Now, with this in mind, let's talk about CBDCs a little bit more in regards to Ripple. So financial inclusion means being able to access the most basic economic services, such as sending money to a friend or having a secure place to store money. Now, this is their new sort of, from hype to how with CBDCs. Now, I don't want to talk about this. In fact, I do want to talk about this white paper going back to 2020. And I do believe that this is a little bit more, I think that we should put a spotlight on this, PDF more now than ever before. So let's talk about this. So obviously they were talking about, how 1/4 of U.S. consumers used cash less often than, for example, they used before the pandemic. We did see 2.4 billion users in potential global reach of Facebook-backed currency. Again, some of this stuff is a little bit outdated since, Facebook's digital coin basically crumbled. But we do see the digital yuan, it threatens the US dollar's position as the dominant global reserve currency. They've seen this already ahead, of time. Now, as we do see more and more CBDCs rise, I do believe that this infrastructure is moving forward in a very fast-paced structure. But this is not what I want to talk about. In fact, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about digital currencies in general, into, the idea on where does XRP play a vital role within this. First off, we do see 80% of central banks are actively exploring CBDCs. This is no new, news. We know this. We do see if CBDCs are cheaper, faster, more secure for users, we should explore it. If it's going to contribute to better monetary sovereignty, better autonomy, we should explore it. If it's going to facilitate cross-border payments, we should explore it. And this is, of course, Christine Lagarde, president of the European Central Bank, or Lagarde. I know a lot of people say that I pronounce her name a little bit wrong, but it is what it is. But we also do see here by 2024, at least half of the world's population is expected to use digital wallets for transactions that will be valued at more than $9 trillion a year. That means $9 trillion a year will be moved over digital wallets by 2024. It's a pretty significant, statistic when you look at things right now happening within crypto. Now, also, we do see some key challenges to CBDC. Interoperability, one. Public and private partnerships, neutral bridge currencies as well. A few of these have already been, solved. Interoperability, Ripple has been working with, of course, Quant. I've talked to you guys about Quant and their structural, integrity, that they will, really kind of play a pivotal role within, of course, the structure, connecting the legacy platform to, of course, the digital platform through DLTs. They have been building out a very strong use case with Overledger. They have already solved interoperability. The neutral bridge currencies, we've already seen, become a major solving point. But public and private partnerships as well. Excuse me. This has already been solved. In fact, when we talk about public and private partnerships, they are already, intact. I believe that there's so many partnerships going on behind the scenes. But when we look into this, right? Let's talk about neutral bridge currencies. While interoperability will support the direct exchange of CBDC in domestic transactions, many of the same old issues with cross-border transactions will remain. In particular, supporting immediate real-time foreign exchanges as opposed to the current 3 to 5 day process will likely still require the need for pre-funded currency accounts. Again, even though CBDCs will solve a lot of inefficiencies, we still see the issue being supported around liquidity. This is also why we look at neutral bridges. One example of a neutral bridge is the digital asset XRP, which can be used to bridge two different currencies quickly and efficiently. By underpinning an effective alternative liquidity market, neutral bridge currencies are the final piece of the interoperability puzzle that will drive the success of CBDCs as a global tool for exchanging value. And we actually do see down here, a neutral bridge asset can support healthy alternative liquidity markets that will allow for frictionless and cost-effective value movement between various CBDCs in real time. This is why I have told you guys that XRP will play a pivotal role as we do see CBDCs becoming more and more of the norm. Now, also, we did see a new world order for the stock market is coming. An announcement from the BlackRock CIO. Now, this is a $10 trillion plus asset under management company that is now backing the USDC stablecoin with $400 million funded into it. This is huge. Wall Street prepares for wider adoption of digital currencies. We actually do see down here that they are focused on a key area. We believe digital assets and blockchain technologies are going to become increasingly relevant for BlackRock and our clients. Operating Officer Rob Goldstein and Salim, I'm not even trying to pronounce his last name, I'm going to butcher it, global head of ETFs and index investments, wrote in a memo to employees Tuesday. The company has been conducting work in crypto assets, stablecoins, tokenization of ownership for a range of asset types, and permissioned blockchain. I've always said, pay attention to these critical use cases around crypto. Tokenization. Stablecoins have been in the spotlight for a very long time. DeFi itself is such a key area of focus as well. And when we talk about tokenization, I do believe that the stock market will eventually be tokenized. I do see this happening. And when we talk about tokenization as a whole, it is going to grow massively. The times around crypto right now, this is probably one of the biggest opportunities of our lifetime to be in a market that is so early in its infancy stages, as we do see, again, when we talk about things happening, all right, and when we talk about just, the change in pace from going back to 2017 to now, we have seen Wall Street completely do a 360 and say, okay, it's time to really look at this and really kind of start accepting this. And this is something that, I've seen change just in the last year as well. We've seen these, large CEOs kind of changing their mind around crypto. And now they are seeing that this could be massively transformative to not only finance, but everyday life. Dollar digital currencies like the USDC are fueling a global economic transformation. It is particularly gratifying to add BlackRock as a strategic investor in the company. We look forward to developing our partnership. Again, we are going to see massive use cases coming from these major partnerships. And I would say when we talk about the traditional markets, when we talk about stocks and commodities, even when we talk about just crypto in general, right? I do foresee the day where we will see crypto added to Wall Street. You are going to be able to buy crypto similar as a stock in a very easy way. Now, I believe that this is going to allow for mass adoption in a very, very massive way. Why? It's going to solidify and it's going to add that legitimacy factor to crypto that a lot of individuals have been, really kind of waiting for. And this will solidify crypto being here to stay. I think the main issue with a lot of individuals that don't want to put their money into crypto, they just don't trust these exchanges yet. And this being on, again, the stock market is going to allow for that, trust to be built. But again, I do believe that when we talk about Wall Street's biggest players, as you guys do see down here, They are preparing for the evident future of cryptocurrencies taking over at a massive scale. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all, have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.